It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the second day of July. Getting ready to go into the July 4th holiday weekend for those of us here in the States. Of course, you guys over there on the other side of the pond, I guess you don't celebrate the 4th of July like we do. But anyway, it's the day after Canada Day. My friends up north celebrated yesterday, which reminded me of course, one of my favorite Canada Days. I was in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and it was just terrific. The lead story on the news this morning is Royal Caribbean announced yesterday that they're keeping the Windjammer buffet. And for a big fat man like me, that's just a massive story. But at any rate, we do have a little business to discuss before we get to the main stories today. And I got a whole bunch of things to go over today. So we're going to be going from one to the other. And then I will eventually get to the comments section because we got a bunch to do. But first of all, if you're in the New York vicinity, New York metropolitan area, Chillie's Cruises has just learned that our friend Emily and the dog are out in the car. So look out, folks. This could have disaster written all over it with Emily and the dog out and about. I've just thought I would bring that to you to get that out of the way. Actually, of course, Emily knows I like to make fun of her at all times. But anyway, after what seems to me from a creator standpoint, like months of stagnant times, I kept getting right up close to 2,000 subscribers, and then YouTube would do one of their purging of the accounts, and I'd lose 15 or 20. And then probably some people got mad at me about the masks and my stance on wearing masks, folks, and that's not going to change. I'm sure I lost some subscribers over that. Well, finally, the day has come that I reached 2,000 subscribers. So I'm over that hump finally, and now hopefully we'll head up to 3,000 a lot quicker than it was for getting me to 2,000. So if you're new to this channel, welcome aboard. I know there have been a bunch of new folks to come in recently. We regularly post videos in all facets of the travel and cruise industry. We do the travel and cruise industry news every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 11 a.m. There's going to be a whole lot more of me doing news videos in between times now, as we're getting into a lot more newsy things as opposed to the constant talk of COVID like it's been for months now. So we're going to be doing probably more in between news broadcasts and then just recapping everything on our regular travel and cruise industry news shows. That's how I see the channel progressing a little shortly. So, and then of course our interview shows, which are called Chillie Chats, our cruises for solos show that I co-host with Pete and John over in London on Sundays. All that's available on this channel. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that little subscribe button down there in the lower corner, wherever it is, somewhere below. The bell notification will tell you when I go live or when something new is posted in the way of videos. So, and as always, Tina Turtle, that's Tina Turtle back there in the background. Tina Turtle likes to get thumbs up. Please give Tina Turtle a thumbs up. That way she doesn't nibble on the back of my ear behind me. So she always appreciates thumbs up. So we do like to do that. Okay, so let's get to the main story, the lead story for today. And that has to do with our friends at Royal Caribbean. In case you have been wondering what they're going to do with the buffet. And of course, Royal Caribbean's known for just an outstanding buffet. The Global Vice President of Culinary, Dining, and Beverage, Linken D'Souza, spoke on the fate of the buffet in a webinar question and answer with travel agents yesterday and confirmed the buffet will remain. Sweet. Mr. D'Souza was asked about it, and while they are not letting loose what actually is going to happen, they have said that the Royal Caribbean continues to study all kinds of alternatives in keeping the buffet, but taking care of all the social distancing things, the hand sanitizing, having staff serving it opposed to us serving our own. All those things are being considered. Royal Caribbean has not yet said exactly how it's going to be. Only now they are saying that the Windjammer will be there, and that's smiling faces is Mr. Linken D'Souza, who's the one that said the buffet will stay. Yay for him. Okay, that's a good story. Always glad to bring you good stories on this channel, because some of them today there's a mixed bag of things today, folks. Celestyal cruises, and I guess I'm going to mention this early. Celestyal cruises, let's see, I got them somewhere on here. Celestyal, there it is. Celestyal cruises is basically a cruise line out of Greece. Has extended their sailing suspension into next year, saying it will not restart operations till March of 2021. Now, this, according to our friend Dave Monk over at Ships Monks, he did a piece on this yesterday. This is a massive blow to the whole European efforts to get things going again with cruises. You know, they're a little bit ahead of us here. Where they've got some river cruises that are sailing now. They've got the one Hurtigruten, or I can't pronounce that thing, up in Norway that's sailing now, and they're trying to get some things started. But this is kind of a blow to the European thing, and that's a bad thing. Then overnight last night, the EU came out with guidelines on how they can, the guidelines that they have to use to get basically the resumption of cruises going. I picture this as kind of like the CDC in the States here. We have the CDC that basically can control the cruise industry completely. They have to approve everything before the cruise ships can sail, especially with all the new changes that are coming up. Well, the EU has issued guidelines that are very similar to the CDC guidelines, even though it's not, the setup's just so different between the European, and that represents a number of countries, and then there's a number of countries that it doesn't represent. It's just a whole lot different than our CDC here, which is just purely over cruises sailing from United States ports. But basically, it can start from small things where you separate everybody by age group, reduce capacity. COVID testing of all the passengers is a possibility. And that the cruise line must have a written contingency plan for an outbreak should there be another one. Then, of course, their cleanliness protocols. They are considering the possibility of requiring a doctor's note for anyone 65 or older. Those are all on the drawing board as a possibility, and it applies to passengers and crew members alike. So, I just look at it that it's very similar to what we went through in this country with the CDC way back in the beginning. And, our friends down at Bahama Paradise, which are the only cruise company yet still to this day that have a green light to start cruising this summer, and they still hope to start on July 25th. Now, their green light from the CDC is still not approval to cruise yet, but it's the step you have to have before you can get the approval to cruise. So they still don't know 100% that they're going to sail here in a couple more weeks, but they still are, at this, as of today, still hoping to. So apparently the EU is now, that's the European Union. They're doing a very similar thing to the CDC here and trying to get everybody on the same page to resume cruising again. Now, that is a good sign. Coming up with the bad sign of Celestyal packing everything in until next year. And, it's just so often as it's been going on with this, when one company suspends operations, they seem to all follow suit in time and go about the same way. So that March date is not a good sign. I just point that out. On the same token, as of this morning, the pyramids are open for business. They've been closed because of the health situation. Well, they're open for business. Now, I suppose you have to ride that camel to get there because I'm not sure you can fly down there to go visit them. I'm not sure you can fly back home from there. So you might have to catch a camel in Barcelona and ride it around the big lake down there to get to the pyramids. But it's open for business as of today. I'm just pointing that out, folks. Don't kill the news guy. He's just reporting the news. Okay. Another good sign, another good thing happened yesterday. Carnival Legend guys, they're out, the people that are still on the Legend, it's out sailing around the Bahamas. Well, it seems that a smaller craft put out an SOS. They ran out of gas or something, and the Legend happened to be in the right place at the right time, and the captain and the crew were able to potentially take care of a bad situation that ended up with a happy ending as they responded to the distress call, and they took some gas of some fuel over and gave it to them, and the little boat was saved from having any major problems and got back to Jacksonville where they could get more fuel or whatever. So good for the Carnival Legend. Glad they were able to help out. That's, of course, a good sign. And then, like I say, folks, not everything's good today. The Odyssey of the Sea yesterday was announced that that's delayed. That was Royal Caribbean's new humongous behemoth ship. It's delayed and won't be delivered as anticipated this fall. The impact of the worldwide port and shipyard closures have created delays in the construction schedule, and delivery of Odyssey of the Seas is now adjusted to sometime in the spring from Meyer Wift. They're hoping to have it by April of 2021, and she will spend her inaugural season sailing the Eastern Mediterranean from Rome when they get going. So that is what's going on over there with that part of Royal Caribbean. So let's see. What else do I have on the agenda here this morning? Okay. Remember the story last week about Pullmantur? Pullmantur. I'm not even sure how you pronounce that. But anyway, that was partially owned by Royal Caribbean. And we know that they went belly up, and it's the first company to actually be stopped by COVID as they went belly up on us. Well, it appears like the 3 ships will be returned to Royal Caribbean. I'm sure this is a money situation involved with money still owed to Royal Caribbean, and they're taking the boats back. But anyway, the 3 ships are going back to Royal Caribbean, which does save the crew members and so forth, save their jobs, which is a good thing. The bad thing is Royal Caribbean has already announced that they're trying to get rid of some ships that are weighing heavily on their inventory, as is Carnival. Carnival has said specifically they want to move 6 of the ships, and we're finding those in all kind of brokerage firms right now. Royal Caribbean has said that they're going to dumped some, but they're not sure which ones yet. We do know several of them that have showed up on it. Well, now here, these are some ships that may or may not go back in the Royal Caribbean fleet. Not entirely sure how that's going to happen. So anyway, the 3 Pullmantur ships are going back to Royal Caribbean. So that takes care of that one. Now let's see. Is that anything? Oh yeah, there's the other breaking news. Literally before I went on the air, just 5 minutes before I went on the air this morning, Vikings River Cruises just released their schedule for 2022 and 2023. Now, you guys know that I'm not a river cruise guy. I've never been on a river cruise. I would like to try it sometime. My friend Emma over there in Europe loves them, and a couple of the people we talked to in Europe that have been on river cruises think they're just outstanding. I've not done one, so I can't answer to this personally. But the Mississippi River Cruises now have a schedule up until 2023. If you're interested in looking into that, let me know and I can get you some information. I don't have it on my website, but we'll get you some information, or I'll get you to Kim, our friend Kim, who's a nifty travel agent out there in Portland, Oregon for Expedia. And she can get you information and take care of helping you book if you need it. Okay, sip of water. I guess it's time for our commercial. Oh, I got to get this out of the way. No. Where is it? There it is. I'm back. Okay, commercial time. Do you have a bad back, bad hips, bad knees, or any other mobility issues? Think about Scootaround. For scooters, walkers, wheelchairs, even oxygen needs, delivered right to your cabin. Scootaround for all your mobility needs on your upcoming cruise. All right. We talked on several things have happened. You know, I've been asking everybody about their favorite cruise ship and their favorite port of call. And on Sunday's show from London, John brought up an interesting point. When we were talking, I don't remember if we were talking, the shows last Sunday, if you weren't on, a good bit of my audience was in the audience for that show. So I'm repeating this to a lot of you guys. But John brought up an interesting thing. He said, I need to ask people what cruise ship they wouldn't get on as well, that they had a bad experience. I've never had a bad experience, so I didn't even think of that. Every cruise has been good for me. But there are people that have had bad experiences. So I want to start factoring that into the equation. But anyway, because of what John suggested on that, I asked our friend Sunny down Mississippi, I asked her what she thought about the whole situation, and she loves anything Norwegian. So any Norwegian cruise she's happy with, and she loves Alaska. She doesn't care where in Alaska. She's happy with any port in Alaska as well. She said absolute no to the MSC Seaside. So I'm just pointing that out. I have not gotten the whole story. Maybe one of these days I will be able to interview our friend Sunny down Mississippi and get the story why she doesn't like the Seaside. But I think it's more the style of cruising, because that's totally different than we're used to in this country. The whole European type cruising is a lot different from every bit of information I've been able to gather. I've not been on MSC yet. That was one of the deals this fall that's went by the wayside. So I can't, again, attest to it personally, but that seems to be Sunny's thing. So we're going to start factoring in now, if you don't, cruise ships you don't like as well, because our friend John, he was totally opposed to the Norwegian Star. He had a bad trip with the Norwegian Star. And then Kim, our friend Kim Cameron that we were just talking about, our Expedia travel agent from out there in Portland. She loves the Star. As a matter of fact, she got kicked off the Star down there in Chile when this whole thing happened, and she had to swim home from Santiago, Chile to Portland or whatever the situation was. And she loves it and has already booked it again for next year. So not everybody that has a bad trip means it's bad for everybody. So it can just be bad for one person. So, all right, let's take a look at comments. I haven't even been over to check on chats this morning. See who's here and who's not. We know that Emily's not. She's out driving someplace. She might have gotten back by now. But anyway, Gretchen's with us. Gretchen, Tom Henry's here. He says hello to everybody from hot Cape Canaveral. It's hot in Virginia too, Tom. It's going to be 93 here today and humid as, well, you know what I mean. You're over in Richmond. That's worse than we are here. By the way, folks, in about 15 minutes from now, I'll be at the pool. And that's where I'll stay for the afternoon. The pool has been glorious. Matter of fact, I almost overstayed my welcome yesterday and missed a cocktail party. On Wednesday afternoons, it's 4 o'clock my time, 4 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. We do a little cocktail party with a lot of the Cruising for Solo folks. And we've got some lovely ladies from Scotland. There was a lady yesterday from Normandy, and Kim's there from Portland, and Pete and me, and John was there for a while, and then he had some kind of crazy phone call, and we kicked him off. The hell with John. But anyway, yeah, we have a nice little time, and we all bring a cocktail. Now, this is not a cocktail this morning, folks. This is a Diet Coke. But for the cocktail party, I actually have my cocktails, and we had such a good time yesterday. I had to go mix a second one before we got off the air. It was just we had a good time. So it's a nice social activity for the Cruising for Solos folks. We have a good time and joke and kid and give each other grief and talk about cruising. The thing that we all love. We all love it for different reasons in different parts of the world, and it's a great community to be in, and I'm thrilled with it. This has become my entire social life. I'm totally on self-quarantine here at the farm, and we'll continue to do so until it's safe to get out and maneuver again, because 3 of us are old and we don't want to get sick. So anyway, back to the chats. Tom Henry did his cruise yesterday. Had a good time out on the water for 5 hours. That's a casino boat. They go out and gamble, basically. There, interesting article from a Cruise Hive, or one of the cruise groups on that boat that Tom was on yesterday, and I put a request in to try to do an interview with him. Don't know if the writer, don't know if that's going to come through or not, but we'll see. So Gretchen says she's jealous. She's jealous of Tom. She's jealous of me in the pool. Yeah, Gretchen's jealous. She's trying to get Hubster to go on the cruise with Pete and I next year. We're hoping everything works out well, so we can go to sail from over in Italy in October. We're doing 2 cruises. Gretchen's supposed to be in Spain today. Yeah, I know, Gretchen. Sorry that you're not in Barcelona as we speak. Amy says she made it. Good for you, Amy. You're not too, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, you actually got here on time, Amy. It says you were here at 11 o'clock. Congratulations, Amy is on time for once. Glad to have you, Amy, as always. Cheapest, Tom Henry says, cheapest cruise ever cost $15 per person. And we got $10 each to bet plus lunch, which was worth $10. Wow. That's awesome, Tom. If you didn't see that, folks, cheapest cruise ever cost $15 a person. They got $10 each to bet plus lunch, which was worth $10. So that's a bargain. Wow. So at least Tom did get out on the water. We all want to do that. We all want to do that soon. Or maybe today, Gretchen says it was the day at sea in Spain tomorrow. Yeah, it's kind of, those things can run together. We also got a free voucher to board free within 30 days. Oh, so we can go back and do another one for free. That's awesome. And Gretchen says, yeah, big dog. That's for the picture I flashed up of Emily with the dog in the car. Emily's going to kill me. If she ever meets me, she's probably going to kill me. As I make fun of him. I just love Emily to death. And needless to say, folks, Emily's on my Facebook page and she follows everything I do. And so she sends me stuff all the time, which she finds about up in New York. And so she sent that picture this morning. I stole it and put it up. So, and congrats from Tom on my 2000. Yeah, finally. Wow. I should have done that 3 months ago, Tom. No internet needed on that cruise either. We had land signal for the entire, because you don't go very far, but you're at least on the water. I mean, you can be on the, in the sound, running around the Port Canaveral and back. You don't have to go very far to be on this. So you're on the water. Wow. Gretchen says separation by age. Yeah, I saw this too. I was strictly reading that word for word. Apparently, you can't cruise with youngsters or oldsters may not work out too well. I'm not sure what that means, Gretchen. I questioned the same thing, and that's why I left it in there word for word, because maybe somebody will know exactly what they're getting at on separation by age. Unless they're going to quarantine all the old folks and, stick us down in the hull. I don't know. But anyway, some of the EU people are a little strange. Pete's with us. Speaking of European and strange, Pete, glad you're here. If they separate people by age, what are we going to do with our European cruises next year, Chillie? I don't know. Depends on how they separate us, Pete. I mean, if they lock us up in jail or something, that'd be awful. I don't know. Do they have jails on boats? I never got thrown in jail on a boat before. Anyway, I'm getting silly. Can you imagine me getting silly, folks? Nikki's here. Hey, Nikki, good to see you. Nikki needs to go down and get on that boat that Tom went on yesterday. At least she got out on the water. Gretchen says hello to Pete. Pete says good afternoon to Gretchen and everybody else here. Amy and Nikki as well. Hi, Pete. Everything else. Think Tom, man, gambling on my cruise yesterday was good. Ended up to the plus. You mean on top of all that and getting that, you won some money too? Wow, Tom, I'm impressed. Oops, I thought Sonny was a he. No, Sonny's is a lady. Yeah, that's a female Sonny. Result, Tom, well done. Hope you won loads. Oh, he's even going to tell us. Cashed out $121.75. Only had 100 when we left home, so gained some. Oh, that's just awesome. Not only did you get on a boat and get on the water and you won some money too, and you got a bargain cruise. Well, I need to go to Florida. Yeah, can't do that for a while. Not in my situation. Some of you that were with me on the cocktail party yesterday, and my son and grandkids were coming from Kentucky next week. And I had to call and say, look, we got some real serious concerns with that, with the way things are spiking right now. And we got the first of what could be a bad spike here today. Is our case in this area more than doubled the biggest day we've had. So we're starting in what could be a spike here in Virginia. West Virginia's in the middle of a spike. Kentucky's has had a spike. And I've had to tell my son and my grandkids that, let's hold off and let's get through this next little period and see what happens. The pool's going to be here, let's wait and see. So I hated to do that. Boy, did I hate to do that. But anyway, Cindy's here from Dallas. Hi, Cindy. Good to have you as always. Clownfish Spectrum Media. Hello, I subscribe. Thank you very much. Do appreciate that. Can you, if you get a chance, tell us where you're from? Because I'm not familiar with the name at all. But I'll have to look on down through. But anyway, yeah, welcome aboard. Glad to have you. We do some serious stuff and we do some fun stuff too. Tom says, welcome, Nemo. Yeah, that's Nemo's in the avatar for Clownfish Spectrum Media. So Cindy's keeping her fingers crossed for October cruise. The anniversary cruise in September got canceled. Cindy, and that's your birthday cruise in October. I've got my fingers crossed too. I'm just mightily afraid that, and I waver back and forth, but I'm a little concerned, especially with things spiking as badly as they are in this country right now, that we might not be at the end of this yet. So, yeah, Briggs and more. Okay. The restaurant, Tom says the restaurant we ate lunch at on Tuesday was closed yesterday due to a staff member testing positive. Yikes. Wow. That's not a good sign. And again, that's why I'm not jumping in a truck and heading for Florida right now, folks, because I have to admit it. I'm taking this as conservatively, and I hate using the term conservative. Now, that's not a political statement, folks. And I'm not making any political statement. But I'm still taking this thing really seriously. And I know there are some of you out there that disagree with that stance and that think it's a bunch of hooey and stuff, but just look at the numbers, folks. And if that doesn't scare the bejesus out of you, I don't know what will. So anyway, we'll see what happens with this next spike, and then we'll see what's going to happen to cruising. And hopefully we'll get back soon. And hopefully by next October, a year from now in 2021, I'll be going to Europe, and we're going to absolutely, if you get me and Pete and maybe John together all on the same boat, we're going to set European cruising back about 50 years. We'll stand them on their ears. Now, we'll have a good time. I am so looking forward to that. I just hope everything is cleaned up and done by then. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. Glad you all are with me. Welcome to the new folks that are here. Again, welcome aboard. We hit the 2,000 mark, and so hopefully now we'll keep heading right up top. Again, things are going to change a little bit with what I'm doing. I'm going to be putting videos up as now we're getting into more and more news items again. So I'll be posting videos on news type videos as opposed to, cruise ship and ports of call videos. And I've still got a bunch of those that I've been working on that haven't gotten posted yet. But anyway, that's going to be changing in the very near future. So again, folks, glad you're with me today. I'll be back with you on Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, and I'm sure something will be posted between now and then. So as always, folks, stay safe, stay at home if you can, wear a mask if you go out in public. I hate to keep harping on that, but it's helped make you safe and other people safe, and hopefully we'll get on top of this curve and get things back to head us toward cruising real soon. So stay safe, stay healthy, folks. We'll talk to you soon. This is Chillie, the Fat Travel Guy. Later, y'all.
Thank you for watching today's travel and cruise industry news. Join us every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern for another episode. Travel and Cruise Industry News is a production of Chillie's Cruises.